All right, here's a good example of why I prefer zone schemes over gap schemes when it comes to the run game as an offensive lineman. So let's run this play real quick. This is a gap scheme play called counter, and I'll explain it here shortly. Yes, I have a lot of Eagles films in my clips. I'm an Eagles fan, and I'll be watching the Eagles games. But nonetheless, we're learning football. So here we go. Counter means that two of these players are going to pull to the play side, and everybody else is going to block back, right? And that's the gap scheme, right? We don't have zones right here. We're not just going to a zone. We're playing this gap, and whoever shows up in that gap. But alignment is important when it comes to this play. So I'm going to get down here real quick. So if we're just looking at the line of scrimmage, even though 53 right here is a backer, even though he's a backer, it looks like he's more on the line of scrimmage. So what may be happening is that this player is looking over there, even though, y'all, look at his stance. You can kind of tell he's about to pull. 76, if that's your name, you need to get right with that. But anyway, his job is to kick out whoever's on the outside. I am not their coach, but this is from how I've been coached before and how I understand counters to happen. He's got the end man on the line of scrimmage. He's going to kick that person out. And I'll show you what that means. Let's go to a little freeze frame. Bam. So in a perfect world, he would grab Brandon Graham and wash him out that way. This player would come wrap around the double team block right here and would block Bond on the inside of Bond. That way, my boy Daniels can grab the ball, run right up in there. It's a nice, beautiful gap. Remember, this is gap scheme and counter. I actually enjoy counter, but these are the headaches that come with gap scheme plays over zone that I don't enjoy. So what we have is a missed block here. Somebody's supposed to block Graham. Nobody blocks Graham. Now, you can argue with your mama if it's supposed to be him or him. How I have been taught before is that this player should have been kicking out Graham. And this is another interesting thing. Because Milton Williams right here jumps inside instead of staying outside, he's in the outside shade technique, if you can kind of see this right here. Instead of him going outside, which maybe he normally does, he goes inside. This causes the tackle to stop his flow. He stops his flow right here, boom, and he recognizes, oh, he's too close to the quarterback. I need to block him. Instead of just going in the hole to block, I need to stay here and block. And maybe he's coached to do that. And if he is, then this is a good job. But because Brandon Graham doesn't get blocked, it doesn't matter. The play is over. He's the one who makes the tackle, right? And I thought 76 was going to say something, but I kind of wonder, I wish I was in the film room with this, but this is why I really don't like gap schemes, because sometimes if defensive teams or coordinators are smart enough and they start stunting because they know you're a gap scheme team, and what I mean by stunting is that moving out of places that you're supposed to be on defense, it gets a little hard to read as an offensive line. So look at Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham's playing inside this gap. So you would think he has this gap. He's kind of head center, so I don't know where he's going, but he's on the outside. So you think he's going outside. You think Brandon Graham's going inside, but that's not what happened. Brandon Graham jumps immediately to the outside. Immediately to the outside. Jordan Davis looks like he's going to the B gap as well. And so once you have those things, it gets hard as an offensive lineman, the intricacies of the game, to be able to read fast enough to say, wow, I actually am no longer going to be blocking Bond. I need to be blocking Brandon Graham, kick him out. He says, oh man, I've made the decision to stay on him because he's too close. But now that means you have one-on-one with Bond, Jaden, or if not, he wraps in and he gets the block there. Everything happens so fast that sometimes gap scheme, if defenses start stunting, it gets a little iffy. So that's this counter. This is a gap scheme run. And yeah, I mean, what do you prefer? I prefer zone running schemes. Some people love gap schemes because of the double teams, but it is what it is. I'm Corey from Corey's Corner. If you want to learn more about football and break down the intricacies of the game, tap in with your boy Hit Follow.